Your assignment is to make 6 of the 8 charts you've been presented with graphs. This is Excel. Excel is made up of many cells. Each cell has a name which is shown right here in the name box. If I click any cell, it will give you the cell name. If I highlight any area, it will tell you how many rows and how many columns I am highlighting. One of the things we're going to do when we start doing this is we're going to choose 6 of these charts, data that we can use. Down here at the very bottom where it says Sheet 1, Sheet 2, Sheet 3 are actual Excel sheets. So I'm going to name them appropriately. Sheet 1, I'm going to use Career for career choices. Sheet 2, I'm going to choose to do Movies. Sheet 3, Ice cream. And I can just keep adding and adding and adding and naming them. So if I'm going to start with careers, I'm going to type in my data, and I can actually type in my data anywhere I want on the sheet. But I'll just start right here. I'm going to do doctor, vet, teacher, pro, athlete, priest. All right, those are the areas I'm going to do. Now my next cell in column B, I'm going to put my actual data for those choices. First one was 33. I'm using the directional keys going down. 44, 15, 48, 105, and 15. So this is my data. Now notice I'm not showing all my words. Well, that's okay. I don't have to. I can still highlight it and make a chart. Or if I wanted to, I could go right in the middle and manually click down and move it. Or I could have just gone click, click, and it will automatically change so I have enough room in each of those cells. I'm going to highlight. This is a Goldilocks rule. Not too much, not too little, just right. I'm going to highlight, go up to the top, insert, and choose one of my charts. I'll just start out with a column chart. Start out with the first one, and notice I've got everything I need. Because all these charts just have one series, that means one level of data, I don't need the series. If I was going to survey St. Mark's School next to Holy Trinity or St. James or another school, then I'd have multiple series. But in this case, I only asked one group of students. So I'm all set. Up here at the top, it says Chart Tools. Design. Notice what you can do. Change your chart, chart layouts, colors. This can be moved. Move chart. Here's my layout tab. Notice all the different things you can do with the chart layout. This is where your title, your axis legend, data, tables, and then your formatting. And that is basically color, reset to match, fill in different shapes, do something with your fonts. Everything in these 3 tabs you should be able to find. One of the things you need on all these charts is a title. So if I click here, and remember I'd have to go to chart title. Do I want it right at the top? Do I want it kind of overlaying or above the chart? None, overlay, or above. Let's go above. And here I would type in, let's see, career choices. There we go. Now, this is really a boring chart. If at first, let's say you spelled something wrong, you can re-click in here, change it. Not only does it automatically change here, where now I have it spelled wrong, it automatically changes in your chart. So it's kind of nice that you don't always have to restart something. Let's say when you did this chart, you highlighted too much. You remember that Goldilocks rule? That means you're going to have empty space somewhere. In this case, here's an empty area. In this case, this is an empty area now, and this is. But all I need to do is grab that corner and move it appropriately, so I have just the right amount of data. Next thing I'm going to do is I need my axes labeled. Always label your axes. So we're going to look at the layout. Right there is your axis titles, and it shows with the little pictures below it and next to it. So you understand what your vertical axis is and your horizontal. If I click horizontal right here and I do title below, it will tell me those labels down there are careers. And on my axis on the side, it would be votes. There we go. Now the next thing I have to do is individualize it. You know, I've got my title, I've got my axis. I could work with a legend, but I don't need one in here. My data labels, well, I could get some data labels on there. Notice, you know, they're exact labels. Sometimes charts are difficult to know, you know, what number is that exactly. So there's really good reasons to have data labels. I could do a data table below it. That too will give me the exact numbers, and that's always good. My axis, I could do more lines, show without labeling, or show with labeling. I could have additional grid lines, or not. Go back. My plot area can show trend line. If I had a trend, I could do a linear trend, and it shows here. Or take it back. So those are some of the things. Background, if I want a background on that, that's part of my design. Or format, I can find different areas that if I have selected the whole chart and I do my fill, it would be the whole area. If I just select this chart area, I could do my lines weighted, or my shape here. I could click just on the individual lines, make those thicker also, or dotted. My bars, if I click on it once, all of them are selected, but if I click again, just one will be selected. I could do that fill shape. I could do some designs in there by going down to a gradient. Let's go to more gradients, and I'll choose let's see, gradient fill, linear, direction, angle, stop, color, red, and let's see what that would end up looking like. Or I could put a picture into it. Fill shape, go down to picture. Let me see if I'll get a picture of me in there, just what you want to see. Insert, and there is me stretched out to a ridiculous portion. I could also do my picture again if I want to go to layout, do other things. So that is in essence what we are doing. Changing the font, you just click on it and you can go home and change your font size, your style. You can color the background of this area. So there's all kinds of things that you can do now to make it interesting. Some of the things you want to be careful of: if your font is too large, obviously you're missing lots of words there. That wouldn't be appropriate. You can't see. So, you know, obviously you got to bring that down a little bit. There you go. That's one. Now I go down to the bottom, select a new sheet, and start my movies.